Hello, welcome back. It is Monday, February 22nd, 2021. Let me just get the browser showing. Okay, yep, that should go, perfect. And it remembered all of my settings. I'm very happy with that. So this is the Games Plus Jam. We are working on a game for that. I'm going to keep this up on the screen while I get Unity booted up and everything running. Again, I would normally do that before the stream. The problem is that pre-stream thing is a Unity project, and so blah blah blah. It's problematic. Anyway, before the break, we worked on sort of the opening cinematic for this, and I was just experimenting with using the Unity editor for that. Or not Unity editor, the animation editor tools. Anyway, let me go to there. The camera should be active. There we go, perfect. And yeah, camera's working, great. Microphone's working, okay, great. Everything is fine for once. Let's see how long that lasts. Okay, so yeah, before the break, we hiccups. Anyway, yeah, we worked on this, so we don't have our plane quite yet. It just focuses on the carrier. It gives us this little text stuff. I haven't updated it yet, but I will fix the dialogue probably between streams. So the first thing I notice is that this character animates even when the curtain is showing. So we need to fix that, and I think that'll be the first thing we fix. Then we will go over to the spy plane, and it will show that that is escaping. So yeah, I need to shoot that down. Okay, cool. And then we'll go back, and then we get our characters. So the next thing we need to do is we need to fix the control issue. But anyway, if we go up this way, there should be... Where'd the spy plane go? Oh, it evaded us. Clever. Clever spy plane. Evaded us. Yeah, okay. And we can just shoot that down. Perfect. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is fix the dialogue animations, and that's not too hard to do. So I believe we just need to reference the... It's not the curtain, it's this color thing here. We need to reference this color flash component, and we need to call like a reset thing on it. We also need to change the colors of these, because base and flash, I believe, are inverted in this. So what we will do is we will open, let's just edit this really quick. It's the quickest way to open this, cool. And I think we just need to rename this, or actually we can, wait, so if we do, sure, we'll rename that to 1 because that's valid. No, we will not. Rename this to F, and then rename this to Flash, and then rename this to Base. Okay, and then we'll have a public, public void reset. So what that will do is that will just say image.color is equal to base. So we'll need to call this, well, oh, that's a Unity message, huh? That's interesting, I didn't know that. Does that say when it's called? Okay. Reset to base, sure, that'll work. We basically just need to call this so that it doesn't deactivate like mid flash. Because, yeah, and so what we will need to do is we will need to go into, let's say, the dialogue here, the dialogue controller. We will need to say, get rid of the cinematic thing, we can get rid of that, we can get rid of that, get rid of the HUD. So we'll say public color flash component left character flash, or is it character 1? Yeah, it's left and right here. Yeah, so we need to get rid of those, and then we'll say right character flash. And so what we will say is the left curtain set active. We'll say the left character flash dot reset to base. And then the same thing for the right one. And then we will deactivate those. say right, or say left character flash dot game object dot set active false, false, and then the same thing will be true of the right. Basically, just while the dialogue is loading, we don't need to do any kind of animations. And then in the animate show text, we will say show segment. We will say the left character flash is equal to segment dot is left character, but it needs to be active if it is the left character, and then otherwise the right character flash dot game object dot set active not segment dot is left character, yeah. And then what we will do is if segment, or no, what we'll say, use ternary for this, say segment dot is left character. If it is, then what we want to do is we want to target the left. No, the other way around. We want to say if it's the, basically, if this is the left character that's going to be speaking, we want to target the right character. Then we want to say reset to base. And so yeah, that will cause it to stop animating, and it'll cause it to reset. So I think everything there should be good. Oh, wait a minute. I think this needs to be enabled. Yeah, it needs to not, it's not set active, it's actually enabled. Don't know what I'm thinking. But yeah, if we turn off the game object, we set it inactive, then it will no longer show, which we don't want because that actually has some data, or not some data, but it has the image object in it, or the image component that we need to show still. Brain's a bit frazzled. I don't know why. Alright, so this should work, if I did that right. I do need to actually target them though. So in the color, and this is the left one, and this is the right one. Yes, okay. So let's see how this works out. Oh, it doesn't change. Oh, because they lost their colors. That's why. That's interesting. Why did that happen? I guess the base color is a bit lighter. Yeah, I guess that'll work. And then we want this to be there. Or actually, this doesn't matter. What we can do is we can actually, no, we can't. I was gonna say, can we reset this? No. Okay. Can copy you, paste there. We can say the base is a bit darker in this case. And copy paste. Okay. Let's see what we get here. Okay. Yeah. So whenever guy on the left is speaking, we get the left character flashing, and then it resets to the base, and then it will, yeah, right, go over to there, start animating. Cool. Same thing, it resets the colors. Perfect. Yep, everything is perfect. Okay. And then the player. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to lock the player's controls to begin with, and then unlock them at the end. So in the animation util, which I hate utils, but there's not really any way around it right here. So here what we will do is we will say, what are we going to do? We can enable the player controls in some way. So I guess we can do public void set player, or lock player controls. So what this will do is this will take in a boolean, and this will say lock is locked, because lock is actually a keyword. So what we'll do is we'll say find object of type player controller component. And we'll say dot is locked, or is there an is locked? No. I think we just have to say lock controls is locked. Yeah. Okay. And really we'll probably want the player controls to start locked, and we will just unlock them. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to say is locked is equal to true, and we'll just start them locked, because that'll make more sense. And so in here, and I believe clip 3, what we do is we will wait a little bit. So this is when the non-cinematic version of the spy plane gets activated. So if we go in here, look at clip 3, this should be the non-cinematic version gets activated. Yeah, so we'll just do that, I guess, like right here. And then after, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 seconds, we can delete these. After like 2 or 3 seconds, so we'll say 2 seconds exactly, we'll unlock the controls. So we'll add an event here. And then we will say, why does it not show up? Why? This should have been a public void. Lock player controls, bool is locked. Why did that not work? I should be able to call that. Should I not? Huh, why does that not work? Can it not take a true-false value? That doesn't sound right. Let's go here. Let's look at clip 3, and let's see what we get here. Oh, it can't. Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. I don't like that. That seems really stupid. Just pass in an int. That seems really stupid. It's like very asinine. I wonder why. I really do wonder why. We'll do something like that. So 1 will be true. No, we'll do it the traditional way. Say is locked, or we'll say 0 is true. Or no, sorry, 0 is false. So yeah, if this is true, it'll be inverted. And then otherwise it'll be false. And then it'll be inverted to true. So what we can do is we go into here. And no, we want to go into the animator. Want to go in here, and then this should be selectable now. Yeah, lock player controls. And 0, that should be 1, so that should set the player controls to be unlocked. Wait, no, it's the other way. Already getting confused. Set them to be not locked. Yes. Okay, so if I play this, then we will get our animations, great. Completely happy about that. Then our controls are locked. They are still locked. They continue to be locked. Okay, so something's broken. Alright, so if this is true, it should get inverted to false. So it should set the lock to false. .log, say setting controls to locked. We'll say plus is locked. Let's see what we get here. Or is the animation still slowed down at clip 3? No, it's not. It's the right speed. Okay. Cool. Yep. You do you. Yep. So it never plays. Animator plays clip 3. Let's see. No, it's in new state. Okay. Clip 3 never fires. Is the clip not considered to be that long? No, I think it's considered to be that long. It's just not being called. Why is that? Alright, so if I copy the keyframes here and I paste them here. Oh, because I think the animator, right, I think it's the animator is having an issue because it's right here. It's the transition, right? Yeah, it's the transition. Yeah. So what we will do is, I think it's, how long is this clip? Is it like 2 minutes or something? The exit time 1? Is that like one length of the clip? Or what is that? Transition duration should be 0. And then the transition offset should also be 0. Yeah, that should work. Okay. I think I understand now. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So it just needs to be a little bit longer. So it's clip 3. I think it's like 2.5 seconds or something. Or not seconds. Oh yeah, seconds actually. Just move this up to here, and then I think if we delete these, it should be fine. Delete those keys. Yeah, so 2.5 seconds. And I think the animator, I think since it runs in percentages, it'll be fine. Okay, so it runs in percentages. That's something I hadn't realized. Okay. And then the next thing we need to do is we need to get this thing moving. Which I don't think is too hard, actually. So we have you, yeah, okay. There we go, we get control right at the end of the runway, which is perfect. Yeah, okay. Alright, so let's track down some of these. Let's get rid of you, because we don't need that. Let's get rid of you, because we no longer need that. And let's get rid of you, because we don't need this anymore. Okay, cool. Now what we do need to do is we need to, I think, attach... I think the spy plane is actually attached. It's not attached to the carrier. So what we need is we need a cinematic version of the carrier. And so that will mean that we need to create a parent. And we need to say carrier. And I actually want to change this to be the spy plane parent. Spy plane parent. And this will be the cinematic spy plane. And then this will have the $, so the cinematic spy plane. And then this will be the carrier. Regular, this will be the regular spy plane. Yeah, so we'll target that one instead of the non-cinematic one. And then this will be the regular carrier, and we'll target that instead of the carrier there. Okay. And then we will have a cinematic version of the carrier, which will move it'll just move in the ocean, just to give that animation there. And then so that is actually going to have the cinematic spy plane as its child. And so that way when we move the actual carrier, the spy plane will come along with it. So this will actually start like that, and so whenever we move it, as soon as we activate the spy plane, it does not get moved because it has a rigid body. Is that true? Does it really not move because, oh right, because it's not a child. I think it'll be fine. I think if we do this, since it's inactive, the rigid body, yeah, the rigid body doesn't mess with it since it's inactive. Okay. So yeah, that carrier will be active, and then this is just called the carrier. Wait, I think I did something wrong. Okay, yeah, this is the actual carrier. Carrier, and then this is the real one there. Okay. And sorry, this is the... Wait a minute, what are you? Oh, you're the focal point. We don't need you. Yeah, we can just focus on that. That's fine. Okay. And then this will just be the carrier. Yeah. Alright, that's fine. And yeah, we can just focus on that. No, what we need is we need an actual like focus point on it. We need a cinematic carrier center. Something like that. Because we don't want to focus on the model. So yeah, we'll just focus on that. And then if we parent the cinematic spy plane to it, yeah, okay. So now we need to go through the animations and readjust them, but everything else should be fine. So in this animation, have a couple events, the focus camera on, so it needs to focus on that. Okay, I'm trying to get this. Clip 1, there we go. Focus on that, okay. Then you start dialogue, yep, that's fine. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it, okay. So in clip 2, we want to activate the spy plane, or the cinematic spy plane. Activate that. And then in here, I want to focus the camera on the cinematic spy plane. Or actually, right. I want to focus on the cinematic spy plane center or something. Actually, that doesn't need any rotation. Maybe like the cinematic spy plane center. Yeah. It'll just be in the center of the actual thing. So we have you selected, we have that selected, so that's the cinematic spy plane. And then we'll grab this. And we'll focus on that. And then here we will load clip 2, perfect. Then in clip 3, this is a little bit more complicated. What we do is we focus on the player, we activate the player. Really, that just needs to be player. This will just be player. So we need to activate player. Or no, I need to go here, and then I need to select it through this. I don't think I need to, but I think I'm going to. Activate player. And then here, we warp the camera to the player, which should be fine. We'll have to put a player center. And we'll just have to add a child to this. Create empty. And this will be the player. Okay. Just say player center. Okay. And that'll be at 0, 0, 0. Perfect. Go to here. Select clip 3. Warp the camera. Warp to the player center. Okay. Then we activate the spy plane. Or sorry, we deactivate the cinematic spy plane. And then we want to activate the spy plane. And somewhere in there we also want to deactivate the carrier, or the cinematic version of the carrier. I want to add an event here. Not there. But here. And then this is going to be a deactivate the cinematic version of the carrier. So that will go away. Okay. And then here we just unlock the controls. Okay, so let's see what happens with this. Okay, so the first thing I notice is that the carrier is either out of focus or too large. It's one of the two, it's out of focus, okay. It's, I think, too high. Yeah, the carrier is at some very high position for some reason. So it should probably be at 0, 0. And I think at 0.5. And the carrier center is there, yeah. Carrier's at 0.5. The cinematic version of the spy plane will end up at 0.5. I think it actually needs to be at 0. I think it needs to be at 0. So that needs to definitely be at 0. Oops. Okay, and that can go into the carrier, yeah. And then here, I think it needs to be at minus 0.5. It's to be where the center is, right? Okay, that's not so bad. So the fighters are deployed, blah, blah, blah. Then we go to the spy plane, yep. Okay, and then we warp back to the carrier. Huh. Oh, we appear underneath the carrier. Why is that? No, actually, why is that? Why do we appear underneath it? Is the camera too low right now? Camera is at 5.5. I think that's its default height. Yes, okay. So you're too high. Why are you too high? 0, and we'll put you at 0.5. I think, okay, and you go to 0, 0, 0. Yeah, okay. Alright, I think that'll work. And we just need to make this carrier move now. Yep. So we do that, and then we will warp back over to here. Nope, that's still too high. Why is that still too high? Is that carrier... That's at 0.5. The model is at... Ah, the model's at 0.5. So actually, this needs to be at 0. And same thing here, you need to be at 0. Because the actual model is at the appropriate height. And then the spy plane should be at 0. Yeah. The actual spy plane, the model itself is at the appropriate height. Okay. So yeah, I think everything, did I just not break everything? Yeah, I did. Alright. So that can be at 0, that can be at 0, that can be at 0. And I think the carrier model itself is at the right height. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. So that might work. Alright. Okay, all of this works. And yeah, now we get the player. Okay. We also get a null reference, which I'm not sure. So it can't deactivate something. It probably can't deactivate the cinematic carrier because I misspelled it or something. That's exactly what it is. Alright. So it can't deactivate that. Okay, perfect. And now the next thing we need to do is we need to actually make the cinematic carrier move. And so the easy way to do that is to just grab our cinematic script here, cinematic spy plane one. We can duplicate that, Control cancel, Control C, Control V, and we will just close all this. Turn this into a cinematic carrier. It does exactly the same thing, but I just don't want the two tied together. That's why I'm not, well actually this one goes a little different speed, but that's fine. But yeah, I just don't want the two tied together, so that's why I'm not, that's why I'm duplicating the code. So this is going to be rigid body, this will be 0 angular drag, and then this will be the carrier, cinematic carrier effect. And so that should just move, right? That's completely wrong. Okay. So the carrier is just turned the wrong way, so it needs to just be turned to 90. And then this oddly is turned. Okay. Sure. So that, oh, because I have gravity apply, that's why it keeps falling. Okay. And I think it's using a mesh collider. Why is there a mesh collider? That can just be removed. Okay, and so this is moving at quite the pace. Alright, so is it going to, oh, the spy plane's facing the wrong way now. Ah, okay. Interesting. So you need to be at minus 45 and up into this direction. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we need to change the speed on this thing. But otherwise, it's not too bad. Okay, yep. And then we will warp the camera back. I don't know why. Oh yeah, I do know why, because I didn't activate the carrier. That's why. And attempting to deactivate something failed. Okay. So this is definitely going to be out in clip 3. That's where this issue is going to be. And the cinematic spy plane gets deactivated. Okay. And the cinematic carrier. Oh, because they need to apply in the opposite order. Actually, no. No, they don't. We can just remove this because we don't need to deactivate you. We do, however, need to activate the player. We need to activate the carrier as well. So we need this. This needs to be an activate function. It needs to activate the carrier. Okay. So now that should work. I think. Pretty sure. We need to slow the carrier down though. Say public float speed. The camera can like barely keep up. We'll just have it be like 1.0 in speed for now. And this will just be times speed. Cool. Alright, yeah. That's moving better. So yeah, now it looks like the carrier is moving in the background. And now we go up, we see the fighter plane, or the spy plane that's running away. Then we go back, we activate the player, and for some reason this is at the wrong height again. Why are you at 1.0? Are you at half? You're at half. Okay, that's the problem. So you go to 0. Yeah. Alright. Final take should work now. And we see the spy plane running. And now we have you, and now we have control. Okay. Now if we go up and to the right, we see the spy plane. Okay. Cool. Love it. Alright, I think that's pretty neat. I'm kind of happy with that. We need to fix the shadow, but everything other than that is probably fine. So now, got a couple other things that we need to fix. Or a couple other things we need to work on. So one of them is the objective, which is, destroying the plane. Once we do that, we win, and we need to see a victory screen and be moved to the next level. And then also getting shot down, we need to work on that. So those both. Something just broke. I don't know what I just heard. Something just broke. Okay. Jeez. So what we need to do is we need to go into, if we're working on the end, or the victory/defeat screens, we need to be working in the HUD, and I will add some fancier graphics for this later, but we will have it'll be a UI, it will be a Text Mesh Pro, and this will be the end game text. Sure, or sorry, let's not create an empty parent, but let's create a panel. Yeah, let's create a panel actually. And we'll just set the panel to be super dark. Super budget UI. I'll say 300, no, I'll say 400 by, I don't know, 200? 100? 100, yes, okay. And then we will have the text mesh pro, or the text inside of it. This will be the end game panel. Sure. This will just be the text inside of it. And we will just set this to 0, 0. That's fine. We will disable wrapping. We will center this completely. And then we'll set it to like 70 or something. And then it'll just either read victory or defeat. And then we'll have like a duplicate, and we'll just say hint. And this will be like a flashing kind of like press any key to continue or something. 50, I guess? No, 30, 40? 40 will work, okay. Be like, you know, press space to continue. Sure. And then we'll have both of these be bold. And then the actual hint itself, maybe that's a little bit smaller. And we'll make this like 500. Sure. Like that. Then this will have the text flash component. Actually, we'll do that later. I want to make this bold. It is, okay. And it will be, I don't know, some horrendous color. Actually, what? No, that's not too bad. Plus it has the outline. Yeah, I like that. Maybe on the hint have it be like a 0.3 outline. It's probably better. Yeah, okay. And we'll just like lock the controls and show that or something when the game ends. And so that's going to happen in the HUD controller. So we're going to edit this. Oh yeah, and we need to do the fade in, fade out stuff. Actually, no, we're going to have a public void show end game screen. And I guess we'll have a string text, which is either going to be victory or defeat, or we'll just say bool is victory. All right, and so we'll have a public game object, end game panel, and then a public text. It'll be TM Pro text, and we're not importing TM Pro, so we'll import TM Pro, and TM Pro, it's TMP text. This will be end game text, okay? I'll just say end game panel dot set active true. Say end game text dot text is equal to, we're going to ask, is it victory? If so, then we will say victory, victory, otherwise defeat. Yep, and that should work. And yeah, after this we'll work on the fade in, fade out stuff. Yeah, and then in the game manager is the thing that we actually want to deal with this. So wherever I put that, right here. All right. Public void, win, I guess. No, game manager just dot win. Public void win. Then public void lose. What we will say is find component, or find object of type. This will be the HUD component. What we will say is on, or no, end game. Show end game screen, and for win we're going to say true. And then we will say find object of type player controller component. going to say .lock controls. We will lock the controls, regardless of whether or not we win or lose. Okay, and then we will say false. So now, in the player controller component, if the player is killed, that should be, I think unit has an on death, is that right? Not on health change, but we can add a public action on death. Then what we'll say is on death, say on death, that, dot invoke. Okay. Then in player controller, we will say in the awake method, say unit dot on death. We're going to add a lambda. So when we die, we just say game manager component dot instance, and then we will say dot lose. And we will also want to deactivate ourselves. And say this dot set active or this dot enabled equals false. We basically just deactivate, just deactivate ourselves. That way we don't get any other issues. Yeah, I think that should be good there. So that way we can't fire, we can't do anything. So yeah, actually, then the, well no, we'll still have our controls locked. Oh, but it won't matter because this will get destroyed. Okay, so actually none of this will matter. Lock controls there won't matter. It'll only matter when we win. Alright, I'm just trying to think of other issues. I think the camera will be fine. I think the camera will just stop. I think that's the only thing that has an issue. So let's just test that really quick. Bad thing about adding the cinematic stuff is that, well, also, we didn't actually assign this. Is the other issue. So that's the end game panel there, and then that's the end game text. Okay. Bad thing about adding the animations is that, yeah, we have issues like this, where we have to just sit through the animation. Now, whenever I hit Q, we should just die, and we get defeat. Yep, perfect. Just explode, and then everything, yeah. Okay, that's fair. And then the only question is, how do we register defeat, and what do we actually do? How do we notify, or how do we notice, or like what do we do basically is the question. I think the animation thing, this needs to be disabled at some point, but I'm not sure when. And then also, yeah, there's a couple things. The other thing too is, how do we recognize victory? And I'm not sure what that's going to look like quite yet. I guess we can create a game object to represent whatever the objective is. Yeah, I guess we can create a game object to represent whatever the objective is. That'll work. And then, yeah, we'll just use like a simple like score system thing or whatever. So we'll say this is the objective. And we'll call this the objective manager. Yeah, that'll work. And then we will create a mono behavior for that. So we'll do that in here. This will be a mono behavior. This will be the objective manager. And so basically it's just going to work on a simple scoring system. So here we will have a public static. Actually, we don't even need to do that. We'll just say public int current score, or we'll say required score, I guess. I think that'll be fine because I want to do an objective where you, what is it? One where you destroy like a target, and then one where you survive certain waves. I don't know. Have to figure this out, but we'll just say required score for now, and then we will say public void add score int value. Then we'll have a protected int current score. And then we will just say current score plus equals value. Then we'll say if current score greater than equals required score, then we will say game manager component.instance.win. Yeah, that should work. And then we will say for this, we'll create an objective component. And then we will have a trigger for undestroy. Let's say public int point value. Then we have public bool, on destroy, or when destroyed. So we'll say private void on destroy. What we'll say is if when destroyed, then we will do find component of type, and then we'll say objective component or objective manager, and that will just be add score, and then it'll be point value. Okay. So that's what we'll do there. And this should actually be, instead of objective manager, it should be objective manager component. F2, control RR, control V. Okay. And I think that'll work. So basically what we do is we just put the objective manager or objective thing on the spy plane. So say like an objective, no, just an objective, no. Why did the objective component itself, wait, oh, I did something wrong. Yep, I did something wrong, all right. So that's the objective manager component, and then that is the objective component. There we go. All right, and yeah, that's the objective manager component. Perfect. Okay. So now we should be able to add an objective component to this. We should be able to say that it has a point value of 1 and it is triggered when we destroy it. And in the objective manager, we just say objective manager component and the required score is 1. Okay. So now when we destroy the spy plane, it should give us the victory screen. I think I did all of that right. Okay. Right, let's see if we can actually find the spy plane. Oh, there you are. It's going too quickly. It's annoying. Or it's going too slowly is what I mean to say. We are going too quickly. Yeah, there we go. And our controls get locked. Can't do anything. Perfect. Then we'll just keep flying out into the void. Oh boy. Okay. So now, the other thing that checks for, the other component that checks for spacebar should be, it's not this, oh god, what is it? Is this? Yes, it is, okay. So yeah, if the input.get key down space, then it finds the object of that, and then it advances the dialog if there is one. Otherwise, what we want to do is if, let's say, I guess for the game manager, you can also monitor the spacebar. Update And then we'll have a protected bool game over. And then what we'll say is on win, we'll say game over equals true. And then on lose, game over equals false. Okay. And then we'll say if not game over, then return. Otherwise, if the player has won, bool victory. Yeah, so if victory, then, so if it's victory, what we want to do is we want to move to the next level. If it's defeat, we want to reload the current level. So we'll say victory equals true. Oops. Say victory is true. Okay. Okay, and then if victory, then we load the next level somehow. I'm not sure how we're going to do that, so we'll say debug.log load next level. Otherwise, what we need to do, and I realize this is in the wrong place, put that there. Okay. Otherwise, we need to reload the current, or we need to reset the current level. And so I don't think you can actually get the currently loaded scene using the scene manager. I don't think that's a thing. Scene manager get. Oh no, you can get the active scene. Say get active scene. We can say build index. No, but we can say name. So I think what we can do is we can say scene manager dot load, and we just load the current scene. Yeah, I think that'll work. We'll say if input get key down. We will say key code dot spacebar. And then inside of that, we check for these two conditions. So yeah, if we've been defeated, we just reload the scene. Okay. So in this, we'll have a hint here, have the text flash component, and we will have a hint be there. Okay. I'll just copy that. We will paste that as the base color, and then we will paste this, but we will make it very light and very dark, or very transparent and very dark. It has a speed of like 2.5 or something like that. Okay. So now, do this. Then we can take some hits. And then that, we get the press space to continue, so we press space, and that's interesting. So nothing happens. Why does nothing happen? Let's see what the game manager is looking like. Where did the game manager go? Oh, it said don't destroy unload, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay. And let's check out the debug values here. So game over hasn't been set. Why? Did we not? Oh, because no. Oh, right. Game over is true. I'm dumb. Okay. That's fair. We're going to get some on destroy issues because of how I'm calling the code, but that's fine. All right. Yeah, oh, that's fine. Okay. And if I hit the Q button a couple times. All right, so we press space to continue. And then, interestingly, something breaks. That's fair. Oh, the next level is getting loaded. Okay, well, that's an issue. because what we need to do is we need to say game over. I think we get another awake, right? Say game over equals false and victory equals false. I think that'll reset those values. Okay. Yeah. Everything's screwed up. Alright, so if I hit Q a bunch of times, we get that. Okay, I click that. Everything's good. Okay, it's still screwed up. So the game over is set to true, but victory is set to false. Okay. So we only get one copy of awake. And do we get another copy of start? Because like everything reloaded, right? So shouldn't start be called multiple times? Or am I crazy? I don't remember if there's something that's called every single time the scene starts, regardless of whether or not the object is reloaded. Yep. Okay. Let's destroy. Alright. So now... Nope, they both got set to true. I don't know why victory... Oh, victory gets set because when it gets destroyed. Right, okay. Interesting. So apparently start doesn't get called multiple times either. Can we do on... Is it on scene loaded? Is that a thing? No, it isn't. Oh god, I can't remember. I think you could do scene manager on scene loaded or something. I thought there was a thing. No, really? You can't? Oh, active scene changed. From scene to scene, okay. Then we'll just create a lambda plus equal to some lambda from to neither of which matter, and then we just want to reset everything. Yeah, just reset everything. Okay. We'll have a public void reset, or in, it's not really a reset, well it is a reset, but you can't really do a reset. You can do like initialize. Yeah, sure, we'll do initialize. It's not really what it is, but it'll be fine. It'll just have those two things in it for now. Just say initialize, not initialized, initialize. And yeah, we'll do that. And then we'll just call initialize just in case there's anything we actually need to initialize. Alright. See, that ought to work. Okay. Okay, so if we kill ourselves, okay, defeat, space, okay, yeah, the game manager looks like it reset correctly that time. See how we have the spy plane, yep. Cool, and yeah, pressing space doesn't actually do anything right now. Alright, so we should be able to win just by doing that. Okay, and then we get the load next level thing. Alright, perfect. So now we just need to figure out how to notify, or not notify, but how to indicate what the next level is. Probably we can do that in the objective thing, so I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, kind of like that. All right. Turn that on to normal mode. So we're going to do something else. Oh yeah, the fade in, fade out stuff. So there's a couple ways we can do that. We can do that with an animator, or we can do that with just some kind of fade component. Kind of just down to do the fade component thing, because I think that's just easier. The animator is a little bit more fiddly, I should say. So this is the fade component that we currently have. That is the end time. Yep. Okay. And yeah, basically this is the code that we want to execute. We'll just say, just paste this. Say like, really it should be called fade component, but we're going to call it something else because I've already used that name. Just say fade to target something component. Sure, fade to target component. And so what this will do is we'll just give it a target color. And yeah. Say public void fade. And then we will say like target color or something. Color target. And yeah. Let's say public, or no, not public, protected color. Should it be just the color? No, it should just be the alpha. I will say float target. Then we will say protected float target. Yeah. So this will be the target. Then the end time is going to be time.time plus the duration plus the duration. Yep. Okay. Right, so I have that. So we want to fade from 0 to the target. Target. We have a protected float base. So the base is going to be where we currently are. So base is equal to sprite. Well, actually, say float. We'll say float. Yeah, it is a question because I think the fading in and out is going to happen so fast. I'll just say fade in out. Out component, yeah, fade in out component. Then we'll just say fade. And then we won't need any of this. We'll just have to say public, or not public, let's say protected float end time. And so what we want to do is, rather than have it be from there to there, yeah, so fade from 0 to 1. Have that be the end time, yes, okay. And so what we want is some mathematical function that will go from a minimum to a maximum and then back. So I believe that's sine. So that would be mathf.sine, and I can't remember what the... Okay, which one starts at 0? I can't remember. Math, sine wave, yes, that's what, I don't even have to specify math. Alright. So sine wave, let me double check. So a sine wave, yeah, it starts at 0. Perfect, okay, and it goes, not 180 degrees, that would be pi over 2? Oh, jeez. I don't want it in degrees, I want it in pi. I think it is pi, no, I think 2 pi, right? 2 pi is the width? Oh, jeez, come on. Sure, let's pretend that that's right. Okay. So if that's true, it should be mathf.sign. Then basically you need to scale. So this is the scaling, right? Or the, I guess, percentage. That's whatever percentage of the way through the duration we are. So we need to multiply that by percentage times 2.0 times pi times mathf.pi. And I think that's right. But this will have a negative percentage, which we don't want. We need to shift this, because this will return between 1, so this should be 1.0, 1.0 plus that. So that'll shift it into the 2 to 1 range, and then we divide it by 2. And that shifts it back into 0 to 1. That should work, I think. All we have to do is call fade. And the end time should be negative 1.0f. Yeah, that way the time.time will always be greater than that. Okay, I think that'll work. And so what we need to do is in the UI, in the HUD, we need to have the fade in out component, public fade in out component. No, it's the fade, right, because I haven't changed the name here. There we go, yeah, fade in out. This will be the fade component. And then we're just going to have a single fade method, not fade in out. It's the fade in out component dot fade. There we go. Okay, let's be the fade component. Okay, now there should be an error in the cinematic thing. Or no, it should be in the cinematic thing, right? Cinematic util here. Yeah, dot fade out should just be dot fade. Okay. And that should be more than enough time, I think. And so what we'll do is we'll go to the HUD, we'll just create a panel. And this will be completely dark. Or sorry, it'll be completely transparent for now. Have no background. And then it'll have -1 on all sides, that way it's guaranteed to fully cover the screen. And this will have the fade in out component. And that is a sprite renderer. We actually don't want a sprite renderer, we want an image. So we'll duplicate this, we'll say Unity engine.ui. This will be an image, and then we will say image. And I think all that's fine. Yeah, okay. So we can set the image here, and then we can set the duration to ½ a second. And that should be, I think, more than enough. So this will be the curtain. All right. And I will set that there. All right. Now this should work. Okay. Oh, that was interesting. I don't know why that happened. So let's think about that. What just happened? And also, where did we end up with this? We ended up at 0.5. Why did we end up at 0.5? So we shift by the duration, Yeah, that should give us the percentage. And then it should be 1 plus the percentage times 2 pi. This should be a full cycle. So this should shift it from -1 to 1. Then we shift from 0 to 1 across that. I don't know what just happened there. So we could slow that down. How can we slow that down? We could grab this, and we could say it happens over 5 seconds. Let's check this out. Okay. Why does it do that? That's really weird. Oh, I know why it does that. Because when sine is 0, it will be 1. And then it'll actually be a half. Okay. Wait a minute. So it seemed to do the exact opposite. If I just switch this to cosine, what happens? Because I know that that has like an offset as well. Okay. Okay, so that's a little bit... So that does like the exact opposite of what I want. Alright. Well, it does the exact opposite of what we want. We can fade that way. And that might work. Alright, let's see what we get. Okay. It did have a delay on it, but it actually worked fine. Okay. So all we need to do is we just need to grab it, and we need to just set the value to half a second or something. The coroutines screw up whenever you try to fast forward. Whoops, that happened not fast enough. Might have to trigger the fade a little bit before. Yeah, it triggers too slow. Okay, so what we can do is we can move this out, and we can just say public void fade. We can just create a thing for it. We can move here, we can move here, and then we can do that, and we can just make it part of the animation. It's a little bit janky, but it's probably fine. It is a game jam after all, you don't need to make it perfect. Alright, so we go in here into the animation, into, let's say, clip 3. In here, we activate everything. Then we warp the camera. So what if we move... I don't know, what if we move this stuff a little bit? Alright, so what if we wait a little bit? Wait a minute. Yeah, what if we wait... where are we going to do this? So we can activate stuff. Then at frame 5, so here we can start the fade, right? Just call fade, and then this will warp the camera, that will deactivate stuff, deactivate, okay. Let's try that, let's see what we get. Nope, still too quick. Alright. So let us go clip 3. Let's zoom in. And move all of this stuff a little bit. To like right there. Alright. And of course, if it happens too fast, we can always slow it down. Okay. Yeah, it's still too quick. Alright. Let's go into the animation again. And then just keep moving this stuff back. Actually, let's move these out to like 20 or something. I still don't know if this is frames or seconds. I think it's frames. Seemed a bit quick. Is the duration at 2? Okay. Right. Let's go over here and then move these further. So let's move these, let's say right there. Should be fine. Alright, let's see. The fade should start. Not quite enough. I think it's getting closer. So I think if we set this to 1.5, it might be quick enough. Okay, let's see. Should get a fade. Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. Alright, I like that. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Let's see, where is the actual plane? Oh, that's... What on earth? That's not right. Why is that happening? No, that's just not right at all. That's part of the problem. Okay. So let's go into here. Let's have a look at these. It's trails. Yeah, that's not what those need to be. Shader is sprite's default. Why is the texture... Why is that the material? We need that to be like particle default, right? That's very odd. Okay. Don't know why. Actually, no, it shouldn't even be that. It should just be... should be none, shouldn't it? Default line? No, I think it should be none. Wait, I think that's gonna break something. Actually, wait, what is it for the player? Because the player's trail renderer will have the correct one. It is the sprite unlit default. Okay. So it is sprite unlit default, which doesn't seem to exist. Okay. Sprite's default? Maybe? I mean, that one I think is still rendering stupid stuff. Alright. Yeah, let's have a look at the spy plane here. Look at you. You're now rendering the correct stuff. Okay. And I think the cinematic version is not, though. So let's go in here. Let's look at this version, the 2 engines, and then the trail. Yeah, you're still rendering the wrong thing. So it should be the sprite's default? Yes. Okay. Now I think everything's rendering right. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. All right. Love it. Perfect. So now, still a couple things we need to do. All right, we get the victory screen, and now we load the next level. Perfect. Actually, what happens? Well, it doesn't actually matter. All right. My brain is fried. I think I'm going to call it here. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central. Yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you then. We're going to be doing some more game dev. Hopefully I've made a bunch more progress by then, but yeah, my brain just needs a break right now. So yeah, thank you for watching.